Gemini, welcome. Hi guys. Tonight I'm going to do a multitude of messages. I usually synthesize all the cards together to create one single message. But I would like to switch it up a little bit. Although I know that by default I've just done Taurus and Aries and I couldn't help myself. There were in their case, I guess, common themes or a common thread, so I couldn't help myself. But the idea here is, as always, take some, leave some, take what resonates and leave the rest. We're starting with an angel. I wanted to see what your guides and any angel could possibly be bringing your attention to, what kind of energy. And it reads wisdom. It's in French, but it's wisdom. I'm trying to feel out if intuitively I want to speak on this or if I want to just pursue for now. My intuition is that you are wise versus acquiring more wisdom. I'm going to leave it at that, but we're going to look at a particular relationship that you care for. That's what I want to read about. Doesn't have to be romantic, but anybody that you are inquiring about for whatever reason, someone with whom you have a rapport that is meaningful and that you want answers about or for. So I'm drawing an overall energy to see what it speaks about. And you get the Fool. It's very interesting to me that you get the card of like foolishness, but you also have wisdom to contrast it. And my intuition was that you're the wise one here. So maybe you're dealing with someone younger in age. It could be that someone is more immature, maybe a little less cautious than you, more hot-headed, rash. Who knows? But let's keep pulling. I'm hearing someone is not afraid. Okay. Someone really doesn't think twice before they act. They're very impatient. Well, it could be you. It could be reversed, okay? So take it as it resonates again. But someone is impatient. Someone loves to jump into things, into the unknown. Unprepared, it doesn't matter. Probably it excites them more, even more. They have a very fiery personality, very impulsive. This person hates being told to refrain themselves, basically. They're very passionate. Very, very, very passionate. But they also tend to have bad habits, ones that don't serve them. They're not too I guess, not to worry you here at all. Like, it's not overboard. Like, they don't cross certain boundaries, and even for themselves. Maybe they do have some hint of wisdom somewhere, underlying wisdom, but they do tend to, how do we say, they do a little too much, and yet they don't make it too detrimental for themselves as well, right? They kind of instinctively know when to stop, but compared to maybe you or someone else, they do go over the top kind of thing, right? So everybody has a different threshold, basically. Okay. In terms of relationships here, we're looking, I believe, at our love relationship because, well, Lovers and the Two of Cups are in the reverse here. So it feels like the person who's rash, who didn't think, who is not thoughtful, not wise enough, maybe just a little bit selfish in the end, right? Could be the culprit here when it comes to this disconnect, when it comes to, so it feels like they would have let out something. It could be like a secret. They said something, so that should have been kept either hidden, or let's not put it as a secret or something hidden necessarily. It could simply be that because of their rashness, right? They spoke too soon. They spoke about, they spoke in a way that was inconsiderate. They created an unbalance. There's quite an unbalance here. There's something that was one-sided as well. So they acted selfishly, very selfishly here. This is cause for most likely a breakup. It could be that the breakup was the rash decision, was the foolish decision, and it's caused a lot of sorrow, a lot of sadness, a lot of disappointment, a lot of regrets. So maybe the person has now more wisdom. So I'm not sure. It feels like this was done to you, Gemini, but obviously the roles can be reversed. I've said that, but you know it. Definitely uneven exchange here. Someone did something for themselves solely, thinking about their self-interest. I do have to say though, to their defense, I believe they did that out of self-preservation. So the breakup is like a release for them. It was sort of a way to self-preserve. What's contradictory to me is that it seemed like it was a beautiful relationship. So the only way that this makes sense is that the person who broke up is not the one who was foolish in saying things, right? but the person who broke up is the one that is self-preserving and maybe wise about making that decision of not giving anymore to this, of releasing it, albeit the sadness and the regrets that it causes. Mind you, it could also be that the regret and the sorrow is not theirs because they're the wise one. They made the choice, they made the call to maybe release this, and it leaves the other person very, very sad, frustrated, lonely. But just so that you know, there's been, and that's really the important thing, is the way the energy was released, right? Not the way that the release is when like the breakup is happening, this release. But here, like the thing that was said, that was maybe said too fast, without thinking, came from an imbalance. It makes me think that it came from a position of not taking enough time to weigh things before speaking, like weighing, even like weighing their words, the choice of words maybe. That's what I'm sensing. So I'm gonna switch the message now. I'm gonna draw new cards. I don't know if it will, I guess, tie in or not. But it's okay if it doesn't. Like I said, I wanted you to have different messages. This breakup, it feels like a breakup, a separation. It's very eclipsey season-like. It's pretty much in line with the energies of the month of October with the two eclipses there. One next weekend and one on the 14th and the other one on the 29th. You get beliefs. So this reads, we all have certain beliefs that help us or can trap us and keep us from moving toward creative solutions. I'm gonna draw out of the Psychic Tarot. Get some insight. And as I say that, intuition comes out. Which is the energy of the High Priestess that came out in the reverse prior. So it's interesting. I'm hearing the word assumption. So someone has worked, operated based on assumptions. Solar plexus, moving on, and emotional loss. I mean, it totally ties in with the prior message, right? About, this is almost like the Hermit, so like the wisdom of breaking up. I told you, whoever you are in the equation, the person that is leaving is actually the one that is wise about making the call. It is creating emotional loss, I believe, for both parties, for the two sides here. We did have a lot of love, Lovers and Two of Cups in the reverse, yes, but initially there was a lot of love. I believe the solar plexus here is, and this is, you know, an energy of I want, of being in action. So a decision, sorry, being decisive. Which is, to me, I believe the decision of moving on. Also, it's a little bit of the selfish energy that we picked up before, in the sense that you are recentering yourself by making that decision. So in this case, it's a healthy form of being selfish, right? Understanding that you need to prioritize yourself sometimes. Spiritual strength. Beautiful in terms of, so it feels, Gemini, to me that in the other message, you're the one that has left. You're the wise one, and you're also the one I'm reading for more in this, more directly, at least in this portion, where you had the correct intuition and you made the right decision for yourself about moving on. It's a form of empowerment, spiritually strong and beneficial move. Even if you're sad about it, ultimately. I want to go back to the word beliefs here and the text. It makes me think that, you know, you believed you were happy, you believed you were maybe you deemed the other person that acted selfishly, inconsiderately, and rashly. Maybe you had a different perception of them, so you had a set of beliefs when it came to the relationship with them. And now those are changing, something of the sort. It's a lot of cards, but patience is here. This time it's upright, right? I'm reading those only upright. The temperance was in the prior portion. So you also get financial and material changes, which is a different energy. I'm just going to get the card. It's truth. I'm not going to pick it up. It's truth. So that's beautiful. So patience and truth. I'm going to pick it up. Look at this combo, spiritual strength, patience, and truth, right? It's like you really respected yourself. You really followed your truth. You were very, how do you say, you are in integrity. I also believe you were patient with the other person, and I also believe that you're tolerant with yourself, you're indulgent. I think it's a positive way of, you know, forgiving not forgiving, but allowing oneself, you know, for, although it was a difficult decision to maybe move on, to separate. It's like ultimately means that you really care for yourself and you chose yourself. in that sense. All of this creates movement in your life, creates a shift in energy, makes you focus on financial and material things, but it creates a shift in energy and it brings you positive changes. So that's excellent. So let's pull some guidance. Let's see what this says. It almost fell. 2 cards. Okay. You get the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and Soul Tribe. And then you get a no. Wait, postpone, pause, and say no. That's intriguing. It almost feels like you're being refused within a group, within a tribe, or at least in a meetup. Let me pull a card of tarot on this. It's reiterating the message. 8 of Wands and Ace of Wands in the reverse. So you're not able to communicate. There's no initiation. You can't move forward. You're not allowed to move forward. Like it's almost like this is you and this is the gathering, right? Both cards are in the reverse, but this is blocking. You're not able to penetrate. I don't really like the word penetrate, but it's a little bit like mingle. Like you just want to join and you can't. This feels separate from the prior messages, although it does speak of another separation or form of exclusion. You could have, if I tie it in to the prior messages, it could be that something that was said, right? This communication is very strong here. So again, the energy of acting rashly, foolishly, without thinking. So acting too fast, too passionately. Maybe with words, since in the first message it was the High Priestess in the reverse. And this, which is like saying something, speaking up about something, and this is a card of communication, but it's in the reverse. You would think it would say that it's about not speaking, but the way I'm interpreting it is it's the cause of the conflict. Anyways, take some, leave some, really. Gemini. Hopefully something resonated, although it wasn't so pleasant to hear, I'm sure. Let me know what you think. Please like the video, share, subscribe if you will. Thank you so much. Good night.